Mandarin Oriental is a really luxurious hotel, right? You would never expect anything unusual to happen there. But then, at around 3 in the morning, Mrs. Wren suddenly felt someone grabbing her ankle. They reassured themselves, everything will be fine after a good night's sleep. But as soon as they laid down, a sudden cold wind blew across their faces. Welcome to Hellbank Hotel. I'm Joey Pink. I'm Jazz. Can I have your booking reservation, please? 74241500010. Ha ha ha. What number is that? I just made it up. So today we're going to talk about haunted hotels in Singapore. Well, I believe this is actually quite a sensitive topic. After all, many hotels don't want us to know that there are supernatural things in their hotels. Okay, but today we're going to discuss this topic. We found some reviews from hotel guests. Okay, they claim that during their stay they experienced some supernatural phenomena. Okay, the first hotel I'm going to talk about. You know, Goodwood Park Hotel, right? Yes. Everyone must know it. It's a landmark on Orchard Road in Singapore, a historic hotel and also a 5-star hotel. In 1918, Goodwood Park was called Goodwood Hall. Then, in 1929, it was renamed Goodwood Park Hotel. When it was renamed Goodwood Park Hotel, it mainly served business people. During World War II, it was occupied by the Japanese army and used as a residence for Japanese officials. After being renovated in 1960, it became what it looks like today. Then, you can actually imagine how much history it has gone through from 1960 until now, right? And you can also imagine that there are really so many stories behind it. So today I found a review of the Goodwood Park Hotel. Okay. Yes, a review from one person. Let's take a look. Okay, I found this review online. It's from this guest. He said he experienced a supernatural event, okay? Let's take a look. It's in English. Nice hotel with exceptional staff, really friendly and attentive. The hotel itself is very clean. My room was decent. It was a little old, but spacious and generally fine. I stayed for 11 nights. Wow. Breakfast was great with a wide selection, and the hotel's restaurants were excellent, though a bit pricey. However, I had the most curious experience I've ever had in a hotel. One night I woke up to find the bathroom light on. I reported it to the reception and they assured me they would fix it. 2 nights later, the light turned on and off again during the night. When I reported it the second time, they reassured me my room wasn't haunted, which I had never suggested, and mentioned that they had once brought in a priest from England to exorcise the hotel. They attributed the issue to old wiring and said they would check the lighting again. That night, everything seemed fine. Until the following night, that's when things got strange. Not that started in the room. Then the lights began flickering uncontrollably. Object is moved. I placed something in the safe and later it has shifted positions inside the locked safe. One night as I got up to go to the bathroom, the light switched on by itself without motion sensors. Too many coincidences? I consider myself a rational person, but something about this place stopped off. I even recorded a video of the last night's events because people just didn't believe me. Could the Goodwood Park Hotel be haunted? If I'm the only person who has experienced this, I apologize to the hotel for this review, but I'm sharing my experience in case someone else has gone through something similar. At least there's now a record. I've never encountered anything like this in another hotel. And with that said, the hotel has character. And let's be honest, people pay top dollar for haunted hotels. So this was outstanding, and the location was perfect right on Orchard Road. I would stay again, but maybe not in that room. That's too strange. Yes, I think that the staff at that hotel himself Yes, they gave themselves away without being questioned. It's too strange.
He exposed and gave himself away.
Yeah.
It is not haunted.
That means it is haunted.
Yeah, because he didn't say anything, did he? Did he say anything? He didn't mention that, right? Is there any evil spirit, a ghost? It was the hotel staff who said it himself.
Oh my God, sorry, but that's silly.
I think that staff member,
What?
the staff member must know there's a problem. Maybe it's not just him, not just this guest who reported it. Maybe other guests who stayed in the same room also complained about it.
Hey, it's pretty obvious because he was just joking around. He probably just thought it was a wiring problem, right? A wiring problem. Then the hotel staff told him, don't worry, the hotel isn't haunted. Also, we already invited a Taoist priest from the United Kingdom and performed a ritual here.
Yeah, he talked too much himself and he let these little secrets slip out.
Okay,
Too bad, I think it is from.
okay, but I still love Goodwood Park Hotel, okay?
Yes, I also like Goodwood Park Hotel. I haven't stayed there, but I think I forgot. Maybe I ate something there or...
Yeah, I like eating the inaudible there.
Or maybe I bought their mooncakes or something like that.
Durian.
Yes.
Do you eat durian?
Yes, I like it.
The durian at Goodwood Park is really delicious. Yum, yum. Oh, and their brunch buffet is also really good.
Okay, we are now...
The brunch buffet is super good.
We're not talking about food.
Okay, I'm a little...
Suddenly like this, we've had our meal and we are full, aren't we?
Oh, that hotel is so famous. I really like it.
Okay?
Okay,
Next.
the next hotel on the list is called Hotel Boss. Okay. Because it's a bit newer compared to the other hotels. So maybe some people haven't heard of this name. I don't think I've heard of this name either.
I haven't heard of it either.
Until I saw this. Yeah, it says it opened in 2015. It's a place that's more affordable and in a better location because it's in Jalan Sultan. It's close to the Kampong Glam and Bugis area, you know. Kampong Glam and Bugis area had a lot of historical things in the past. So, if people say there are hauntings there, it's actually not surprising. Because some guests have also mentioned that sometimes late at night they might hear something. And sometimes they also feel a sudden chill, just a very strange feeling.
The hotel is suddenly very cold.
It's just that when they're staying there, these things happen to them.
They just said it was very cold.
It's the kind of cold that makes them feel really uncomfortable.
Just adjust the air conditioning and it'll be fine.
It's not that cold due to the air conditioning. You know what I'm talking about, Ho? So, now we have a TripAdvisor review here and we're going to read it out loud for everyone. This guest on TripAdvisor wrote in caps, "Do not stay at room 516. I'm not the one saying it, it's what he said, okay? So don't blame me." So his review said that at night they heard some really strange noises. There were sounds of someone knocking on the walls and also the sound of chairs and beds being dragged. And the door kept closing over and over. So I'll just read his comment, okay? He said, "My boyfriend and I checked into Hotel Boss on September 1st at 2:30 p.m. and checked out on September the 2nd before 11 a.m. We were given the room 516, which was extremely small and faced a block of housing and development board flats. A strange, cool chill passed over us when we entered, but we initially thought it was just the air conditioning. We opened the roller blinds to let in some sunlight, and I noticed a large mirror next to the television, facing part of the bed. It felt off, and I found myself staring at it for several seconds, trying to shake off this uncomfortable feeling. The room was small, but at least it was newer than the rooms at V Hotel Lavender. The bathroom was tiny but also new, and the amenities provided were decent. My boyfriend had to step out for a bit to run some errands, leaving me alone in the room for about an hour. The moment he left, I couldn't shake the feeling that my eyes kept being drawn back to the mirror. I tried to distract myself by watching funny videos on YouTube, but then I saw a flash of light in the mirror, moving towards the door. I dismissed it, thinking I was just maybe really tired from the lack of sleep. But around midnight, that same cold chill came back into the room. So I adjusted the temperature using the LED remote panel, though it was a bit tricky to use. After a quick shower, I got back into the bed under the sheets. But this weird feeling persisted, like something was staring at me. My boyfriend returned an hour later, and we had some hard liquor. We left the bottle on the side table untouched as we snuggled in bed. Something strange happened. The bottle topped over by itself. It was bizarre. I was drifting in and out of tipsiness and woke up to the sound of the bottle falling. At around 3 a.m., my boyfriend heard heavy breathing near the door. So close, it almost felt like something was in the room with us. So I was doing some research on Hotel Boss. It was bizarre. I was drifting in and out of tipsiness and woke up to the sound of the bottle falling. At around 3 a.m., my boyfriend heard heavy breathing near the door. So close, it almost felt like something was in the room with us. That's a little strange.
I think maybe it's actually that they were drunk.
But he said that strange feeling was when they were walking to their room in the hotel, they already felt it. And when they were in the hotel room, she said the mirror was facing the bed and she already felt a bit uncomfortable.
I think it's just psychological, okay? I think when you enter the room, maybe because the weather in Singapore is very hot, when you go into the room and the air conditioning is on, you feel really comfortable. And then we personally just don't like mirrors facing the bed. So maybe he already felt uncomfortable and he had a preconceived notion thinking, hey, why is the design like this here? Maybe. And then, okay, at night when they went to sleep, the heavy breathing, sorry, it was her boyfriend who heard it, right?
Her boyfriend heard it.
Yeah, maybe it was the girlfriend next to him.
There's no way you wouldn't hear it if your girlfriend was next to you, right? No, because he said it was near the door, not the bed.
Okay, fine.
But you know what? I looked it up online, this Hotel Boss. I saw this news. It was in March 2017. When a couple stayed at this hotel, something terrifying happened.
Room 552?
Not 516, not 516, but it's on that floor.
Okay.
Because there was a 23-year-old boy's head that was cut off.
Like this?
Yes. Even as I say it myself, I feel... They said he fell from the 15th floor of the hotel.
Yeah, where did he fall down to?
He fell to the 5th floor. Well, when he was found on the 5th floor, his head and his body were just...
Had already been dismembered, separated, right?
Yeah.
What if you fell from the 15th floor to the 5th floor? Yes, outside.
No, maybe it's just the sky garden on the 5th floor.
Oh.
Because they have something like a sky garden outside. So this resident, didn't he say he lives in 516?
Oh no.
It's also on the 5th floor.
Maybe it's very close.
So maybe the soul of the 23-year-old boy is still lingering on the 5th floor?
Maybe it was a crime of passion. So when he saw a couple checking in, right? Then he got jealous and went to disturb them.
I don't know about that. Maybe it's because of this, but...
Oh, this 17 is modern time day in Singapore?
Yes, because this hotel only started in 2015.
Oh no, poor thing. Just open for 2 years, then a murder happened. That's really sad.
I don't know if this was a murder, suicide, or just an accident. Well, if I knew, I wouldn't stay there.
Yeah, I think I would be really scared. Okay, I'd live there, just not on the 15th or 5th floor, that's all.
Huh? I wouldn't live in the one to the 15th floor. I'm scared.
I would live there. If the price is good, I would still live there.
But I know maybe
Good. Never miss a good deal.
Singapore has many hotels, you can stay elsewhere. Yeah, right. So I think maybe it's because these things have happened before. So when people stay there, they might feel a bit strange.
Yeah, okay.
If first it's due to the history and second there might be,
A death case?
right? That's why these things happened.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so it makes sense.
Yes, yes, yes. Makes sense. Yeah, yeah.
Don't just say uh-huh. Okay, don't say that. Don't say that. Hey, the next program?
Hey, what? Help!
Another hotel, the next hotel is the well-known Resorts World Sentosa RWS. Everyone must have heard of it. If you haven't heard of it, that's a problem.
Don't say that. Some people have never been to Singapore.
No, I mean, I'm talking to my Singaporean friends, right? Okay.
There's no problem. It's just that she's a bit behind. Don't say she has a problem.
Okay, anyway, to be honest, it's not surprising that people say this hotel is haunted. Because after all, Sentosa has been connected to the Japanese occupation period.
Oh, it's history. I assumed it was due to gamblers.
No, it could also be because of gamblers, or maybe the ghosts of love and such.
Cheating for money?
Cheating for love?
Cheating for love, liar?
Yes, right. And also, it's because you said it's about love, right? There's also a casino over there. Did you ever think about the Genting livelihood incident?
Yes.
You also often hear about supernatural events at nearby hotels, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Are they related?
Yes, yes, yes.
We don't know, maybe. So we're here and we have a comment which says that there is a hotel in Sentosa called Hotel Michael.
Okay, okay.
His title is Room 846 Haunted? Question mark. He said it, not me, okay? It wasn't me, remember, it wasn't me. Okay. So, let me read his comment, okay? He said, I would like to share my personal experience staying at room 846. At around 2 to 3 in the morning, I was awoken to the voices of children playing and running along the corridor. They were laughing, and I was wondering why were the children up so late in the middle of the night? This occurrence happened for 3 consecutive nights during my stay. The strange thing was the voices only came on around the same timing, and they lasted for 10 to 20 minutes each time. After I checked out, I briefly mentioned this issue to my sister. And to my disbelief, she too experienced the exact same creepy laughing noises. She had stayed there for a night in the same room before I checked in. Wow. She also mentioned she heard people entering the room through her balcony and walking across the room to exit from inside the room entrance.
Huh?
Okay. And she heard doorknob noises and was very freaked out by the whole incident. So please, Resorts World Sentosa, if there are any supernatural entities residing in one of your rooms, please investigate and cleanse the room before allowing guests to stay again. Folks reading this post, please remember to stay clear of room 846, or even the entire level 8 if possible. Thank you.
This, I can't repeat the part where I had down. Could feel something coming in from balcony, entering and then leaving through the door, yes, and then going to another door.
No, she said she heard someone coming into her room from outside her balcony and then walking to the exit of the door.
Underestimate, okay.
It's really strange, right? And she also said that she and her sister, I don't know if it's her older or younger sister, because her older sister or her younger sister also stayed there the night before.
And then they stayed in the same room again.
They stayed in the same room.
What a coincidence.
Maybe it's just that they booked a total of 4 nights, maybe just 4 nights. With the older sister or younger sister stayed for 1 night, and then the older brother or younger brother stayed the next night. That's 3 nights.
Yeah, okay, but
Maybe that's the case.
I've stayed at Hotel Michael many, many, many times. I love the hotel.
Is there an 8th floor?
Maybe since I've stayed there many times over like a few years, visiting a few times a year for fast vacation, I never noticed anything unusual. And it's very nice. It's a very nice hotel.
Maybe next time you can stay in room 846. Tell him specifically, I want room 846.
I'm not afraid. I'm definitely not afraid. Because I've stayed at other bays for a long time. Other bays is kind of like my second hotel. I'm not afraid.
Yaoqing, what about you?
I'm not afraid.
So I don't know if it's because something happened there before, or maybe it's because during the Japanese occupation, that place was used for something, you know, it's a historical site. So that's why there are stories about hauntings and things like that. But I think if it doesn't, how should I say this? If it doesn't hurt you, I think it's still okay.
Yeah.
It's still okay.
Just now we said? Okay, I think if you tell me there are kids running around outside at 2 or 3 in the morning, but I really don't think it's strange because it's a very, very family-oriented hotel.
But it's 2 or 3 in the morning.
Because if travelers are coming for tourism,
Nothing is available at 2 or 3 a.m.
yes, because the casinos are open 24 hours. And if your parents go to the casino, kids can do whatever they want and don't have to sleep. Because that was what happened to me. Like in the middle of the night, when my parents, not just parents, but the adults weren't in the room, my brother and I could just hang out and not have to sleep like that.
Maybe, but it's because he said he was running around in the hallway.
Yeah, you could get up and play, it's fine. But of course, I don't rule out that there could be something supernatural going on.
Yeah, right.
I think there are other possibilities too.
So I think if you want to stay at these hotels, it's not that you can't. It's just up to you. Ha ha ha. It's up to you. Yeah, that's fine. Actually, when I saw these comments, I thought, I'll be more careful when choosing hotels in the future. I will definitely check their reviews to see if anyone mentions any supernatural events or anything like that. But I'm wondering which is scarier, encountering supernatural events or, like at Hotel Boss, cases that someone falls from the 15th floor to the 5th floor, the decapitation death cases. Do you know what I mean? Which one would be scarier?
I don't know. I think if I look at the reviews, right, I should be looking at the service and also whether the hotel is clean or not, like really clean. I mean, not that kind of creepy hauntings, just, you know,
Cleanliness.
yes, the hotel's cleanliness and their hygiene and all that. I think if you, let's say, if you see those chain hotels, okay, Shangri-La, Hilton Hotel, you probably wouldn't think too much about it.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. But I will still read the comments. I will definitely read the comments.
If I read the comments, it's usually for those just bigger hotels, but maybe not that famous. Really, mainly, I don't read the comments to see if the hotel is haunted or not. I want to know if the money I spent is worth it.
I think most people also wouldn't specifically look for comments about supernatural events.
Actually, this makes me curious. If someone passes away in a hotel room, especially in a tragic way, how does the hotel handle it? What kind of measures do they take to make sure future guests aren't disturbed? Because I saw this news online. Okay, let's take the Ritz-Carlton Millenia as an example. In 2009, a 64-year-old Japanese retiree was found dead in the bathtub on the 31st floor with a fatal stab wound to his chest. The Straits Times reported at the time that this retiree chose to end his life due to huge stock market losses caused by the 2008 financial crisis. When the hotel staff found him, there was still a knife in his chest. Oh my God, that's so sad. Following the usual practice, representatives of different religions, including Catholic priests, Buddhist monks, and Muslim clerics are invited to perform religious purification rituals in the room. Then the room will be temporarily sealed off for a period of time. The length of the closure depends on how much cleaning the room needs and the hotel's occupancy requirements. The official reason for these religious rituals is to give peace of mind to the staff, or
To reassure everyone.
or actually it's not for the employees.
Huh? So what is it for?
It's actually for the soul, to help to pray for the salvation of the soul.
Oh, yeah. I think there are two possibilities. The staff will feel more at ease and the guests will also feel more at ease. And also it helps this.
I think mainly it's about cleaning that room and helping the spirit move on. I think that's the main point. Because once you solve this problem, the staff will feel at ease and everyone will feel at ease. So the main thing should be helping the spirit move on. I think it's about helping them move on.
And I also have a case that I saw, which was at the Diamond Hotel in Yalong. This was really too cruel. When I read about it, I was like, oh my goodness, how could this happen? Okay, so in 2008, a 21-year-old woman was murdered in this hotel. And her body was stuffed under the bed in a fourth floor room.
Oh my God.
This case caused quite a stir at the time, and it was even reported on Crime Watch in 2011. But what's even more horrifying is that it was later discovered that the victim was already 7 months pregnant when she was killed. So these cases make people feel even more heartbroken. I think the terrifying part is that her body was hidden under the bed.
Yeah. Actually, there were two bodies.
Oh, right. Oh my God, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Try to imagine if you were a guest, okay? Then you wouldn't check if there's anything under the bed, you know? But suddenly, if you already checked out and only later found out that when you were staying in that hotel room, actually you were
Staying in the room with two corpses.
yeah, it's really scary.
Yes.
Because
Doesn't it have any smell?
我也不知道. I don't know why it doesn't have any smell either. Because I heard a story, I forgot where I heard it, but it was really similar to this. It's just that I don't know who told me either. Never mind, I forgot. Oh, it was you, right? Our host also told us a story. Well, I don't know if it was his friend or someone else, but someone stayed at this hotel and he didn't know about it either. Just like the same story, there was a body buried under the bed. And when he checked out, when the cleaning staff found the body, they called the police and all that. Even the hotel and the police called him because he was the last guest. So they called him to come back.
Maybe he was a suspect, right?
That's right. Then you yourself would also be like, oh my goodness, how is that possible? There was another body under the bed in my room and I had no idea. It didn't even smell anything.
Yeah, it's really strange.
So
You're talking about this too. I have a friend, right? When he was in Bangkok, he stayed at a hotel and he said the room smelled really bad. There was a strange odor, something he'd never smelled before. Anyway, it was just really, really, really stinky. And then when they checked out, right, they saw the news and it turned out that the room directly below theirs on the next floor had a corpse in it.
Huh?
So they kept smelling a really bad odor. Maybe the air conditioner or something was blowing the smell up. It happened in Bangkok many years ago.
So I don't know either. If you were staying in that room yourself, is it possible that you wouldn't notice that smell at all?
Yeah, I think it's really strange that there was no smell. Yeah. And you told me there was pregnancy, and then
7 months.
Right. I can think of a stillbirth also having fluid coming out.
Yes. So,
It's too strange.
everyone might have learned a bit more. So if you stay at a hotel next time,
You should lift up the bed and take a look underneath.
or when your room has a bad smell,
Change rooms.
yeah, that's right.
You don't want to change rooms, do you? If the room smells strange, you must change it. Okay, so right now I have a story that a viewer sent to us. This story is also about a haunted hotel in Singapore. Okay, this story was sent to us by Mrs. Ren and Mr. Ren from Hong Kong. They were traveling in Singapore at the time.
Oh,
They came to visit relatives and took a short tour. Yeah. They stayed at the Mandarin Oriental Hotel. Okay, yeah, their first day went very smoothly. They went to Lau Pa Sat for dinner and all that. Then they went back to the hotel, and, you know, the Mandarin Oriental is a very luxurious hotel, right? You would never expect anything unusual to happen, okay? But on the first night, at around 3 a.m., Mr. Ren needed to go to the bathroom. As he walked past the bed, he heard a faint, suppressed sound of someone crying. He tried to find the source of the sound. He figured it was from the next room, so he didn't worry and went back to sleep. The next day went very smoothly as well. They met up with their relatives again and went sightseeing around Singapore together, visiting places like Malayan Park, Chinatown, and Marina Bay Sands. After having dinner at Marina Bay Sands, they went back to rest. Before they went to bed, Mrs. Ren asked her husband, "Did you hear someone crying last night?" Her husband was surprised and said, "You heard it too?" The two of them were a bit shocked, but they comforted themselves by saying it was probably just a coincidence and didn't think too much about it. They both agreed it was probably coming from the next room, okay? But then at 3 in the morning, Mrs. Ren suddenly felt someone grabbing her ankle. She was startled awake, sat up immediately, and quickly shook her husband awake. She told Mr. Ren, "Someone grabbed my foot." But since she had just woken up, she was still a bit confused and wondered if it was just a leg cramp. He helped her massage it, but while he was massaging, she thought to herself, "They're still so young, just a little over 30, so it shouldn't be possible to get a cramp just from walking a little, right?" And they thought maybe it really was just that and decided not to overthink it. When they laid back down to go to sleep, suddenly both of them heard a voice whispering in their ears, "Okay." Both of their faces turned pale. They were thinking, they held each other's hands, and then they were wondering, was there really something there? They wanted to hear where the sound was coming from, but it felt like it was just the sound of the air. It was coming from all directions, sometimes near, sometimes far. While they were still wondering what to do, they comforted themselves by saying, "Everything will be fine after a good night's sleep." But as soon as they lay down, a sudden cold wind blew across their faces. However, the window was closed, and where would you find a cold wind in Singapore, right? They felt something was really wrong, so they immediately got up and quickly packed their luggage. They didn't care if they left anything behind. They just rushed to the front desk with their bags. This was around 4 in the morning. When they got to the front desk, Mrs. Ren told the staff at the counter, "We want to check out," she said. The front desk staff didn't look very surprised. They just asked, "May I ask what happened? I can help you change rooms." Both of them were stunned because they said they wanted to check out. So why would you ask if they wanted to change rooms? It felt like you already knew what had happened and that this wasn't the first time it had happened. Right? Because actually when you stay at a hotel, checking out at 3 or 4 in the morning is pretty normal since everyone has different flight times.
Oh,
Right?
yes.
It's normal to check out at 3 at a hotel.
Yes.
But this employee, the first thing she said was, "May I ask if there's a problem? Change rooms. I can help you switch rooms."
Oh, right.
Right. and then Mr. and Mrs. Wren, they looked at each other. It seemed like, yes, they reached a consensus. That is, we don't want it, we want to check out. Then they made a quick decision and looked for the nearest hotel nearby. Even though it was very last minute and the price was quite expensive, they were still willing to pay more and stay at another hotel. Yeah. Don't you think this is very similar to the first review you just mentioned? The one which the hotel itself said, sorry, that was what I said.
It was you who said it.
Sorry, yes, it's just like earlier with Goodwood Park Hotel. He was just joking about the light bulb problem and they immediately told him, our hotel isn't haunted.
There has already been a ritual performed.
Right, it's like a guilty conscience. It's really, really strange. I really think there's something wrong here.
Actually, I want to say I think the night shift staff probably know about these things because usually these supernatural events only happen at night. So they've probably heard about it, like guests complaining, calling down to complain or asking to change rooms, things like that.
Yeah, okay, actually, I recently saw a video online. It was really just by chance, okay? They were talking about haunted hotels. Then I saw the person being interviewed. I think he was a staff member. I just watched this video briefly. I think it was just a short video. Listening to what he said he worked at a hotel. Okay, I assume he worked at a hotel. He said actually in Singapore, or maybe the whole world, every hotel manager has a confidential letter. Like, for example, if I resign and then you're the new one, you're the new manager, I would hand this confidential letter to you. Do you know what this confidential letter is?
What?
This confidential letter contains some room numbers.
Oh!
These room numbers mean that there are problems with these rooms.
Huh?
Yeah, so only the hotel manager knows.
Then I want to be friends with the hotel managers.
Right, and then have him give you the best room.
Yes, but don't give me those rooms mentioned in your secret note.
Yeah, I think this isn't really an inside story, but I just find it interesting. Like, every hotel has a secret letter.
Actually, I've seen people say that in Singapore, there are a lot of hotels, especially those 5-star hotels, that usually set up a small altar in a hidden corner, usually in places like the basement.
Oh, it's kind of like making offerings.
A small altar. They also hold rituals and pray every year during the 7th lunar month, things like that, especially in the 7th lunar month, which is known as the ghost month in our lunar calendar. You know what I mean?
During the 7th lunar month, do they have to stay in a hotel?
How would I know? Everyone says they experience all kinds of supernatural events during the 7th lunar month.
The ghost gate opens and then
As a hotel, they also have to do these things, measures, just in case, you understand.
Yes.
Yes.
So, next time you check into a hotel, why not take a careful look around? Because behind that spotless room and those neatly made white sheets, there might be some untold stories hidden. And if you feel a strange, heavy atmosphere, maybe, and it's just a maybe, you're not the first guest to have lived here.
You're definitely not the only one.
Yeah, I've tried the very scary already. Okay. Thank you for watching this episode of Hellbank.
Hey, thank you for coming back to our Hellbank Hotel.
Oh yes, thank you for checking in. Yeah, now you can check out.
I hope you had a pleasant stay.
Yes, and don't forget, remember to give us a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Luckily, I remembered.
Remember what? See you next time.
No, I was going to talk about collecting, maybe not subscribing.
Subscribe. Thank you. Bye.